I received an email from David, and he wanted me to clarify the difference between dehydration and bonking during a race. When you look at a cell underneath a microscope, let's just say for the sake of conversation, the cell membrane is the size of you doing your finger like a A-OK. If you can imagine that that cell has a certain surface area, well, as the cell becomes dehydrated, the cell's surface actually starts to diminish. Well, we carry oxygen in the blood cells. So as the surface area of the cell decreases, what ends up happening is our heart rate has to go higher and higher because we still have the same oxygen demands. It's just each cell is carrying less and less oxygen, so that drives up our heart rate. This is one of the main reasons, or pardon me, an incredibly important variable associated with using the heart rate monitor, because if you know what your normal pace is, and you know what that pace, the heart rate that's associated with it, if you're running a pace that you're familiar with but the heart rate's artificially elevated, it's a very easy indication that you're dehydrated. But for the sake of this conversation, the question that came up, when you're dehydrated, all you're doing is losing more and more water. Your brain, your muscles, the oxygen in the blood is all going to be dictated by the hydration levels, your ability to get the heat from the inside of the body out, known as the exothermic process, is all going to be directly related to proper hydration levels. When you look at the other side of the equation, when you bonk, that's more of an energy issue. So dehydration and all the negative side effects like cramping, cotton mouth, all the things that the negative side effects, when you run out of energy, what that is that's where the sugar levels in your liver and your muscles, think about those as two gas tanks. Your liver feeds your brain, your muscles feed movement. When those gas tanks get drained, your energy levels start to go down, 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 down. And it's what we refer to, you bonked. You're doing really well, and then the wheels came off the bus. When you are in a sporting event that requires a lot of mental focus, you have to realize that you're draining your liver at a higher rate than you are the muscles. If you're in a sport where you're using a lot of mental and physical at the same time, then both gas tanks are draining extremely quickly. This puts an incredible responsibility on you as the athlete to know what your sweat rate is and to know what your calorie burn rate is. If you're wearing the heart rate monitor by Garmin, you go to the dashboard, you can look at what was your duration, you can look at what your average heart rate was, and it tells you what your calorie burn rate is. So we want to be able to offset that with a nutritional strategy. Now, it's very important for you to know and remember, your body cannot take in more than 300, 350 calories per hour. So when you see that you've got a burn rate of 600, 700, 800 calories per hour, and you can only take in from an external source 300, 350 calories, this is where we put a big emphasis on training your body to spare sugar for a fuel source and start leveraging more body fat. We could talk about that in another video. But to answer David's specific question about dehydration, is the amount of water in the body from the cellular level all the way up to the tissue level. We always say in the human physiology world, cells make up tissue, tissue makes up organs, organs make up a series of systems. But dehydration is going to negatively impact all of those together. When you're dealing with an energy issue, that's more of a sugar. The body's gas tanks have become depleted. Now, unfortunately, the worst case scenario is you're at a high level of output, so you're sweating a lot and you're burning a lot of sugar. That's unfortunately like the perfect storm. So that's why with our clients, we always make sure we know what their weight is before and after a workout. We know what the intensity and the duration. We bounce that against temperature and humidity, and we're able to put together a hydration strategy, a nutrition strategy, and a pacing strategy. Hopefully this clarifies the difference between dehydration and bonking, running out of stored sugar. If you happen to have a question, doesn't matter what it is, we're answering a question every day here on the YouTube channel, Coach Robb Beams. Please send in your question to contact@coachrobb.com. We're here every single day. If you haven't subscribed and turned on the notifications, we'd appreciate it if you would. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video today, and we hope to see you again tomorrow.